up, we need to keep trying. On these beats are on the street grinding. Can't take this away from me. My destiny, I was meant to be shining.
Strong mind within moi. Don't stand for something, you fool for anything. Small things for granted, now precious when needed. Label gullible, target alert, the weakest. Foreheads just about, see lights peeping, seeking food. Boys rude, booze with screaming. Yo Sandman, come down and get him, we don't feel him. Put the mic down, he's confused with music, reason. BS, I guess it's people's opinion agreeing. Would be minor, so long as most my darts are beating. Out there somewhere, shrugging, still tighter. To my ones, winking a gun and flashlighters, underestimators.
Grand rising, royal rising to my people them. Shah TV, again, bringing you another episode of Sharing My Degrees, recommending books for the bookworms. You know the coup, like, subscribes, any questions, send them come. Now, I'm gonna go straight in. Now, this book here, Hidden Figures. Now, this book, you don't really get much information on Black women history, especially from a racist patriarchal system. You're not going to get that at all, but you'll be surprised. The reason for this book is because not much people know these Black women are the reason why there's a NASA today. Yes, NASA, who deals with space relations. If there weren't these Black women, there'll be no NASA. Now, if anyone wants to challenge me on that, feel free. I know a lot of people are familiar with this one, but I had to put this up. I had to mention this one. The reason being, I don't think it's just my personal life, but I've been hearing a lot of space activities and astrology and astronomy events. So this is what came to my mind to bring up in the recommending books today. Now, this book, The Code Breaker's Secret Diaries, Rediscovering Ancient Egypt by Sean Champollion. This book here is about the guy that they give credit to for deciphering the Rosetta Stone. If you do not know what the Rosetta Stone is, Google it. It has 3 scripts on this stone, and he's deciphered these scripts. I'll just say this briefly. He gets too much credit for this deciphering. There's a few clues in this book that I'll elaborate on another time why he shouldn't be credited for this work. This is an interesting book, an interesting read. Yeah, interesting read. If you're into the ancient Egypt history. Let's move to the next one. Now, this book called Book of Black Heroes, Scientists, Healers, and Inventors by Mr. Wade Hudson. This book is a must-have for your children. I don't even need to say anymore. It does exactly what it says on the tin. Next one. The Rise and Fall of Black Wall Street and the 7 Key Empowerment Principles. This book is by Mr. Robin Walker. And this book here, a lot of people must know about Black Wall Street by now. But the good thing is it adds these principles where we can operate this today. Again, I would say very interesting, because there's a lot of books about Wall Street, but this one goes in an avenue of taking the ways to get to that level again. So that's the interesting thing about this book. It's not just the history of Black Wall Street, but it has empowerment principles which can help an individual or a people. Interesting. But this is why I've always said some things are not just history and cannot be performed today. There are stuff that can be performed today from history. That's the reason of the Sankofa bird. That's the symbol of ancient times, symbolizing you can fetch back in the past to get things to utilize for today. Let's move to the next one. Social Engineering, the Art of Deception, Psychological Warfare, and Mind Manipulation by Steve Smith. Now, I don't even need to go in depth with this one. Now, the reason why I've pulled this one up is because there's a video I've done on my channel. I titled it Social Engineering. I've used it as a title to kind of show you why I came to the conclusion on that video. But this book will tell you and explain what social engineering is and what its aims are. But I only titled my video this title because I was trying to explain why I came to the conclusion I did. Symbolism Revisited: Notes on the Symptomatic Thought Process by Edgar J. Ridley. The thoughts we have today and how we process things is through symbolism. We have less symptomatic thoughts. The reason why we can't decipher certain things. Some things might be very complex as we're symbolic in our thought. If we think symptomatically, it wouldn't be as complex. Check this one out. This book is deep, but I would say this book is pretty advanced. You would have to study a few things before this book. Essays in Ancient Egypt Studies by Jacob H. Carruthers. This book here, I hope you do find the book because it's a very old book. But this book here, if you really want to know about ancient African history in Egypt, this is a book. This is a book that you will know the interior of African culture. And this is the reason why I get in conflicts when I hold a discussion that turns into a debate, because people don't know this culture. So this is the question I always ask when I get into these heated debates. What was black people doing before we got into slavery? And for the people that don't believe in slavery, what was we doing before we made a transition into the Western world? All right. Now, this book, The Third Eye by Sophia Stewart, some people might know who she is. But for the people that don't, this is the woman that created Matrix the movie. Now, let me be specific. She never actually created the movie. It was her idea and it got stolen and made into the Matrix. The original name was The Third Eye. Now, she's all over the internet. She's been interviewed multiple times. I've even spoke to her briefly. Soon, I'll be interviewing her too, which will be cool, which is going to be a cool interview. But yeah, she's all over the internet and she's explained how they stole it and the lawsuit and suing and all that stuff. So she explains everything. So, just type her name up on Google and she should pop up.
And also, her idea was the Terminator as well.
Find her website and go and get her books. She's got a few volumes. Yeah, she's got a couple volumes of this book. I would advise you to get them. It's much more, they do say the books are much more deeper than the movies. And especially if she's the one that created this whole story of the so-called Matrix. Yeah, so her side will be much more different and deeper than the people who stole the idea. But yeah, she's all on the internet, and get her books as well. Now, this book, The Isis Papers, a lot of people must be familiar with this book. The Isis Papers, The Keys to the Colors by Frances Cress Welsing. Rest in power. This book will psychologically explain racism. Not the commercial side or the obvious side of racism, psychologically, in the whole social construct. Get this book. Now, I'm going to end with this book, as money actually controls everybody. They say it's the root of all evil. Now, this is called Modern Money Mechanics by the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago. This book will give you an understanding of what money is. I don't even need to say anymore. Get this book, and it's a pretty short book, but it's very precise. So get this book. I recommend it highly. Now, I guess that's it for today. I'll be coming with another one because there's thousands of books. So, my bookworms, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.